Something just happened with my internet. Ugh. Did I just... Yeah. That was weird. Internet's been a stooge lately. My internet keeps dropping out. I don't know why that is. This may not be a good day to go live. Let's see if I can figure out what my internet's doing. Reckons it's connected. Reckons it's only got 2 bar, but I've got a booster, so it should. Oh well. We've got a couple of things we're doing today. My projects for today are straighten these out, these miserable excuses for dinner bells that we attempted to make a test piece of last week. I'm going to make a hydrant spoon for work out of this, and I'll explain what a hydrant spoon is when we're building it. And I'm finally going to get around, hence the title, to that big ass drift that I need to make so I can actually finish building my hammer. Because that hammer's too small, the one that I use, and the other hammer's just a little bit too big to use all the time. But before all that, I've got to finish putting a second coat of paint on my guitar stand. Dark green. I thought the colour was going to be a lot darker than what it is, but it doesn't look bad. So this is the second coat going on now. That's probably going to take me like another 15 minutes, so I'm just going to talk shit while I'm doing it. We don't have anyone on the stream at the moment, so it doesn't really matter what I say. Yeah. So, now I'm getting a phone call. Far out, everything's happening. Yeah. What was I going to say? Weather. What's the weather been like for everybody? Summer in Australia at the moment. So we're getting all the nice hot weather. Well, everyone up north's getting the nice hot weather, and everyone in Victoria. But here in Warwick, I think today it's supposed to be 26 degrees, and that's what they reckon the temperature is right now. And look, if you're asking me, 26 degrees, that's nothing to shake your head at. That's pretty good temperature. And I don't think the stream could get any more boring. You're literally watching paint dry and me talking about the weather. No. I don't think you can get any more boring than that. But this paint that I'm using, it's 24-hour drying time. I thought it was 4 hours, and my phone is really, it's not working at the moment. The stream just keeps dropping. So that's a good problem to have. The internet keeps dropping out every time on the live stream. I think it's because of this wind. That's the one thing I don't like about Warwick, is it gets these stupid winds that blow through it. And like, I'm talking, people will be like, oh yeah, this is just a light wind and it's like 30 kilometers an hour. That's not light. That's annoying because it moves everything, and if you have anything outside, it gets blown away. No one wants wind that blows stuff away. Unless, like, you've got lots of lawn clippings that you don't want to blow off the lawn, but really, how hard is it to use a blower? This may be the most manliest, malest thing I've ever done, and because it's extremely boring. I'm painting something, talking about the weather, and talking about doing yard chores. This is peak YouTube right here. Oh yeah, TikTok ban. Some people's thoughts are on that. Because, you know, the fact that it's been proven that it's a Chinese spy app, so I decided to. What am I painting? So this is guitar stand, man. I'm just presuming man because most people who watch me are dudes. So that side there is where the guitars sit. It's got spaces for 3, and that side there is going to be like a shelving unit because you can always do with more shelves in your shed. Sorry, not shed, house. Because the house I'm in is rental at the moment, so I can't go building shelves. So I kind of have to make my own furniture. You can see the welder in the background there in the blue cart. It really, if anything, as Cox, it was a reason for me to get the welder out and get better at welding. So that was what I was doing, was just trying to get better at welding. So I decided, what better way to do that than make a piece of furniture that's going to be functional, and it's also going to give me some more shelving units, and pretty much anything guitar related, including guitars, is going to be on the shelving unit. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I realised far too late in my 20s that you can still never cost you anything because all the videos are on YouTube. There's so many resources on YouTube that you can learn from. Obviously, there's got to take the good with the bad advice. There's plenty of bad advice videos on YouTube. There's plenty of good advice videos on YouTube. You just have to sift through and try out what works for you. And if it doesn't work, just don't use it. That's my advice for the youngins. But if you happen to be watching this and you're still in school, and you think you want to go to uni, or you think you want to do a trade, just explore the other, because I really should have done a trade. I could OP prep. I could have actually learned how to do this stuff instead of having to learn it outside without any professional guidance. So, but obviously it goes to people doing trades as well. If you convince yourself you want to do a trade and you're convinced, but you're kind of like, yeah, the other time, you're young, make mistakes, go out, do stuff. Like, I'm still young, but I wish I'd listened to advice that was given to me when I was a teenager, and I was told, just try everything, and if something doesn't work, just try the next thing. Like, that's damn good advice, and I wish I'd listened, instead of getting a one-track mind about me and going, nah, I'm going to go to uni. Because I never, like I said, I never did. I never went to uni, and I don't regret it, because I do regret not doing a trade though. I mean, if you're a tradesman these days, you're making bank. You're making such good money. But I'm in a good job now. The path to going from out of school to what you love doing is rarely a straight path. I know it definitely wasn't for me. I had to make a couple twisty turns along the way there, but I'm in a good job now. It's not something I plan on doing for the rest of my life, but it's a very good job. I work with great people. I get to actually see the direct results of what I do in the community, so I can't complain. I'd recommend the place that I work at to anyone, because it really is. It's a brilliant job. It's a brilliant job. Maybe there's some more chat messages there. It's looking good so far. Thanks, man. I want to be a trade. My parents says different. Yeah, that's the other thing. Parental pressure. I was very fortunate in my childhood. My parents were, and they still are, they're very supportive of whatever us boys, my brothers and I do. My parents have been very good like that. But it depends. If your parents haven't come from, now I'm going to say an educated background, but I mean if your parents literally have like work trades and stuff, they'd be very aware that trade work, whilst it does pay quite well, is quite hard work, and they probably want something better for you or whatnot. Like personally for me, when I was talking about trades, I just mean personally for me, I reckon trade work would have been good for me. I mean, it's never too late. I'm not even 30 yet. I could always start a trade, but it's like, at this point I don't really want to. Because it's like, I did do an apprenticeship. I never finished it, but I'm very aware of how young tradespeople get treated. That might be another reason your parents are saying don't do a trade. Because there are some horrible people you can work for out there, and you get paid peanuts as an apprentice. Like, from personal experience, I got paid peanuts. It was not, because I know I was going to TAFE at the same time, like you're learning on the job, so technically you're going to a school while you're getting paid. But there's plenty of other jobs that give you an apprenticeship and take you through your apprenticeship and pay you a lot better than just a standard tradesperson would. There's plenty of jobs that do the on-the-job training, which is brilliant. On-the-job training is the way it should be, in my opinion. I'm very biased though. But just explore your options. See what works for you, because the last thing you want to do, and it's okay to make mistakes, like I said, you are young, you can make mistakes. Last thing you want to do is lock yourself into something for the next 20 years that, you've got the qualification for it, so you feel like you have to do it, and just absolutely hate every minute of work. If work is something you do not enjoy, try and change your job. And I know in this economy it's a bit harder to do that because, it's getting harder to pay the bills and stuff, because really, If you're just middle class like me, and like price of vegetables and shit's gone up so much that you're, I'm really gonna have to think carefully about what meal I make, because it's like, not because I'm struggling, it's just because it's like I need to save money for a deposit for a house. So I have to be very conscious about how I spend my money. At the end of the day, it may take you a long time. I know it took many people I know well into their 40s and 50s to find what you actually love doing. So don't be downhearted and disappointed if you can't find it by the time you're 21. You've got so much ahead of you. You don't need to know what you're going to do straight away. Just take it easy, enjoy life, have experiences, try new things. Worst thing you can do is lock yourself in because you're scared of trying something new. Don't do that. Good. It took me a long time to realise that one too. I was told the same advice, I just didn't follow it because, you know, you're a teenager, you know everything. And I'm realising now as I'm getting into my 30s, shit, I'm going to start giving this advice to teenagers and they're going to do the exact same thing I did. Like, yeah, you don't know. Oh, actually I do. It's a funny cycle. Like you look at it throughout history, for as much as we've advanced technology and bettered society and civilization and all the we have, at the very core of it, humans have not changed all that much. Like we're all pretty much the same as we were a couple thousand years ago. Like you look at and I used this example yesterday, talk about how little humans have changed over the years. You look at the ruins of Pompeii, because those people were literally frozen in time, like they just died, so they got frozen in time. And you look at the graffiti that's written on the walls, the things that they say about each other, the things they were doing in their homes. People have not changed over thousands of years, and it's kind of cool when you think about it, like how little humanity has changed in the term of just our basic core, I don't know, peopling and experience and stuff like that, and how little we've changed. Is that if you could speak the same language as someone you met 3,000 years ago, you would probably be able to share your thoughts and your feelings on the exact same experiences that we have today. Obviously not technologically wise, that have no idea what Snapchat is, let alone sending a picture of your wee-wee to someone without them asking for it, but at the core of it, they know what it's like to love someone, they know what it's like to lose, they know what it's like to laugh, to experience joy. It's crazy. Like humans have pretty much the exact same experience today that we did thousands of years ago. And it's crazy, you know. Old Frederick in 1300s rural Scandinavia was probably once upon a time also worried about the price of cabbage. And now look at me. I can't buy lettuce anymore because lettuce is like $10 for a head of lettuce. And I'm not doing that. I'm not paying $10 for something that just... Look, at the end of the day, lettuce is nice, but it's kind of also a shit vegetable. So now instead of getting lettuce, I just get cabbage and boil it. And it's pretty much the same. But in your heart, you know it's not. So, see, we've checked the talking shit element of today's stream at least. Good work. But yeah, humans are cool. I like humans. I don't like humans at all. I'm a human myself, I should clarify that. I'm not saying that as like a body snatcher from deep space. I like humans. I'm not doing that at all. But yeah, I'm nearly finished painting this, so the stream will get interesting in a sec, I promise. It's just at the moment it's going to be a little boring while I finish doing this. Because I need to get this done. Because it's, I've been working on this project for, this will be my second week now. Not because it takes me so long, it's just because the paint takes so long to dry. Because after you finish welding it, you have to give it a brush, and that takes a while. And then you have to let all the welds cool down before you put cold gal on it. You need a couple of coats of that, and then you can see the red primer. I had to put red primer on it. That's 16 hours before you recoat. And now I'm here with 24 hours between recoats, and then I forgot that I was supposed to do this today. So now my recoat time is going to be like 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and I'm really not looking forward to that. I mean, there's probably no harm in recoating before, because it's not like I'm selling this. This is furniture for me. This is something I'm going to use. So if it turns out a little bit shit, I can just say it's rustic. That's the beauty of that rustic industrial farm trend, is that if something that turns out a little bit shit, just sand it a bit more, bang it up a bit more, and you can just say, oh yeah, it's rustic. That's the look. That's the trend right now, isn't it? So I've got plywood on the floor. You probably can't see that because I bought the plywood boards from Bunnings, and they're a bit bent, so I've had to sit them on the floor to straighten them out. And those are going to be the shelves. So this little area I'm painting here is also going to be a shelf. It's about that wide. Oh, sorry, that long and about that wide, which is about 10 inches. But then there's going to be shelf, 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 and then the guitars actually sit on these two bars here. You probably can't see them from there, but the idea is it should stop me from having to migrate my guitar constantly from the couch to the desk, to the couch, to the bookshelf, to the desk again, because it's getting, I mean, it's been annoying for a couple of months. It's really starting to get annoying now, because I can't leave it on the floor, because I've got a robot vacuum, Chris Sucker, and he likes to clean twice a day. I mean, that's what I scheduled him for, and it's good. My house stays clean. If you have the money to afford a robot vacuum, highly recommend it. I don't know why it took so long to buy one. I used to think they were a fad, and there's a trend now. I used to think a lot of things were a fad, and then I eventually caught on to it. Like Minecraft is a good example. When Minecraft came, I'm talking so much shit right now. I just realised that. But when Minecraft came out in high school, what grade was I? I would have been grade 8 or 9 when it started to get like popular. When it came out, everyone started playing the alpha and the beta versions. And I'm like, nah, that game looks like shit. And I remember watching someone play it and going, nah, I'm not going to play. I wouldn't enjoy that. And then come 10, 14, 15 years later, I still occasionally go back to Minecraft. Because it's one of those games that just, for me, it just doesn't die. It's like Skyrim. Like every now and then I'll go play Skyrim all the way through again, because I just enjoy it so much. But, oh shit, we're nearly done. Not long now. I don't need a recoat. This is the problem with painting something and then putting on your subsequent coats, is I forget which parts I've done, and I have to remember. I have to look at it, and it's got a slightly different green colour to it. That's how I know it needs a recoat. But so long as it looks consistent, I'll be quite happy, I think. And so long as I can't see any red primer underneath. But it's yeah. I did experience a problem with this one. I'm still experiencing it right now. I'm trying to sleuth my way out of it. Is rubber feet. Can't seem to get rubber feet that Bunnings doesn't seem to sell, I should say. There probably are out there somewhere, but Bunnings doesn't seem to sell 20 by 20 like L-shaped rubber feet that I can slip on the end of these angle line, because it's 20 by 20. So I'm probably going to have to make my own, and I've got no idea how I'm going to do that, because I did have a quick try with a piece of rubber, and it did not work. I may just end up cutting some out. Or, failing that, I might just sit them on the rubber blocks. I did think like I could probably do timber, that'd probably work. Just cut some pieces of timber and glue them to the bottom. But then that'll look funky, because you'll have these big chunky bits of timber just sitting there. Angle line just sitting on top, doing the thing. I reckon not even 5 more minutes and we'll be done, and I'll have to move the camera because that's in a terrible spot where it is right now. But yeah, I do have that gambrel I was working on last stream as well. That's right in front of me right here. I'll show you in a sec. I'll just quickly get this done. Because you may remember, if you are here from the last stream, you may remember that I did have this in the background and I was putting coal gal on it. That's what I was doing last trip. I was just putting coal gal on it so it didn't rust at the welds. Because let's be real, I'm not that great of a welder, so if it's going to rust anywhere first, it's going to be from the welds. But I'm hoping, until I build a better piece of furniture when I'm better at welding, I'm hoping that this will last me many years, and it should. It's like, yeah, the welds are sort of, they work, they don't look great, but this thing will be around for a while. It's not a piece of furniture I'd sell, but it is going to be a piece of furniture I'm going to use. So I'm thinking I might have pot plants up here. I do love me indoor plants. That's it, it's done, I think. No, it's not. Far out. Anyway, oh, there's a whole section I've missed. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, I do love me some pot plants, some indoor plants. They're good for the soul. That's, you could blame my mum for that. She got me onto the indoor plants. And they, I used to not like indoor plants at all, hey, and then once I had my own house, and then kept getting gifted indoor plants from my mum, because she's like, best gardener you'd ever meet, avid gardener. Yeah, kept getting indoor plants. And then I kind of started liking them. This is like the one section I've got left to go. And I missed it yesterday. I can't actually believe I've done that. That's silly. That's goofy. I'm going to try and not get paint on my shirt now. Far out. Anyway, I'm just going to paint this one real quick. As long as I can't see any red, I'll be happy. But yeah, indoor plants. So I probably am going to have an indoor plant on this, but the beauty of it is that I'm going to have basically the music book that I'm learning. That's a truck. That is a truck going past. Surely there's got to be some sort of noise standard that they just violated. That's ridiculous. What was I saying? Yeah, so learning guitar from a music book as well as YouTube videos, and an awesome app called Ultimate Guitar. They're not a sponsor. I recommend them though, because you can search songs by difficulty on it. And I am stuck at absolute beginner at the moment because I seem to learn guitar really slowly. But that's okay, because we're getting better. Anyway, so I have a book that is kind of like my electric guitar, because that's the one that doesn't have a stand, so it kind of just floats from place to place. And yeah, I can finally have somewhere to put it, which will be good. So make sure you seal up your paint good and fucking tight. You're finished with it, which reminds me to grab this one out, because for some reason I thought I was going to need 2 tins of it, and this stuff is friggin' expensive, so I'm going to be returning that one to Bunnings because I don't need it, and I really don't like that colour. Anyway, what are we talking about? Minecraft gas. What guitar have I got? So I've got an acoustic and an electric, and don't ask me what brand it is. I'm pretty sure it's an Ashton. I think it's so I've got a mate at work that plays guitar, and he's very humble about it. I'm like, oh, so you could probably teach me guitar. He's like, oh no, I used to play a lot, don't really play a lot now. And proceeds to tell me how he's got 7 guitars. One of them was an 8-string guitar. And I was like, oh, can you play Through the Fire and the Flames? He's like, yeah. And it's ridiculous. Anyway, so it's he called it a Strat, which I think means Stratocaster. I don't actually know, but anyway, that's that done. It's finito, bonito. Yeah, so the idea is, you can see there's obviously those bits of red, like these ones here. That one there, I've got to put foam tape on because that's where the base of the guitar is going to sit. And then the neck's kind of just sitting there and like up against those. I've got heat shrink for them though, so it'll be fine. I think. Hopefully it doesn't react with the heat shrink. These are second-hand guitars that I've got anyway, so it'll be fine. But how much weight? Oh, I mean, I could stand on it if you want. Nah, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't need to hold a lot of weight. It only needs to hold an amp. So the idea is that's going to be the amp shelf. That's just going to be the miscellaneous accoutrement shelf. That can either be the book shelf, like where the book is going to sit so I can read it, or it'll be this one, and one or the other will probably be plants, and then there'll probably be a little container full of picks. So that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, so that's the guitar stand. And then I've got to flip it over and weld everything else. Where the red is on those two bars, that's got to be foam for the bottom, because I'm pretty sure sitting your guitar base on steel is not really going to work. So I'm going to set up this camera to look at the anvil. What's that angle like? Kind of works. Small and practical. That's the vibe I'm going for. Is small and practical. I've got to get a drink of water. I've just been talking non-stop. I'll be back. And I need tongs. We're going to be working with round stock, so these are the pair of tongs I made. And this one's probably going to be for the drift, because the drift is let me just show you. It's easier to just show you. Look at the size of this chonky boy. I've got to smack that down to fit that, and I'm really not looking forward to that, because that's hardened steel. That's from a crowbar, and that's really hardened steel. So it's going to take a couple of reheats and a very sore forearm to get that to that size. And I'm going to get it close to that, and then I'm just going to put the flat disc on the grinder and just grind the crap out of it. I'm not a purist. It's modern day, and modern day tool making requires modern day tools. So that's the other part of the project. I really need a drink of water. I'll be back. And I'll talk about this gamble that I made. That's why I have a trusty water bowl in the shed. Bella, what are you doing? Anyway, what is it? So, this is the gambrel. If you made this last stream, you would have remembered me tapering out these ends. So, without going into too much graphic detail, this is basically when you're butchering deers. So this is for field butchering. The idea is, because my brother wanted and I did talk about this in the stream, my brother wanted a rigid one, but I thought a rigid one's probably not going to be too great to carry around and pack in places because it'd be a weird shape. So I made like sort of haven't finished it yet because this still has to be welded to it. But the idea is, because you got these little notches there, that's where I'm going to weld the chain to. I've got to obviously notch it out a bit more, but these points are hardened, so they shouldn't flex, and same with that one. Trying to harden that in a bucket that's not deep enough to submerge the whole thing in required me getting a hose out, but yeah, the dog did walk past. But the basically, the idea is, so it obviously doesn't sit on there the way it's supposed to because it's not welded in yet, but it's being welded to the point where it should, if the welds fail for whatever reason, which I'm going to test them at work, because I'll probably weld this up tomorrow and then go to work and put some weights on it to make sure it sits. But the idea is if the welds fail, it should slip into the middle like that and not move. That should also, that bend there should also stop it from, because it has to, basically if you put weights on either side of it, it's going to want to fold in and down. And that's already there, but that's all pretty much where my thumbs are in the middle there. That's all hardened. So that shouldn't flex. Maybe it will, who knows. And then we've got the points on either end and it kind of looks like a bow. Like it's not a bow, but it kind of looks like one. And yeah, then you just got these spiky bits and that's where the legs of the deer go. You hoist it up and then you can work at that height instead of being on the ground and bending down, and it's not great for your back. Because everyone in my family is quite tall, and one terrible thing about being tall is it's not good for your back. it's really not good for your back at all. So yeah, that's the gambrel. So that's just going to sit there. That's tomorrow's project. I'll probably do that before I recoat it. Anyway, we're going to get started. So I'm going to see if I can manipulate this camera to a point where you can see the forge and the anvil, because that's where I'm going to spend most of my time. That's not really working, is it? What about there? How's that? Be standing here. Yeah, that's good enough. That works. With my lighter. Alright. Got crap everywhere in the shed. I don't know where I put anything. Anyway, so I won't take up too much of time because I don't know if you saw earlier in the stream, my internet keeps dropping out and it's rather frustrating, but come on, be nice, it's not working. This is what happens when you buy a cheap forge off eBay. Is you have to deal with some shoddy Chinese manufacturing, which working with gas probably isn't a good idea, but every time. I know it's going to happen, but it scares me every time. I'm going to chuck that in there straight away. Get some heat going. Need that. Don't need that. Actually, these need to be fixed. So you can see with my tongs, that's too much of a gap. So I need to heat these up and smack them back together. Hello, bro. What a name, bro. Don't hate being tall. It's good being tall. It's just it's like being short. Like being short would come with disadvantages and its advantages, and being tall is exactly the same. It's like if you had a whole team full of tall people and a whole team full of short people, you're all going to have pretty much the same advantages, disadvantages. Kind of like if you were playing an online game and you all had the exact same class. But if there's 2 or 3 people in your class that change their class, so everyone's a bit more diversified in terms of class or in terms of height, then all of a sudden your team can be stronger because all the smaller areas, the tall people don't go, oh shit, I can't fit through there. The short person can be like, yeah, let's do it. And then all like the things that you've got to reach up for, the tall people are like, I got this. So it's, yeah, make friends with people of both heights. Just do it. Trust me, you'll get so much done. It's great. Yeah. How to get another drink of water. This is the first time I've stuck my tongs in. Just the tongs. Alright, so we're going to straighten these out. Because it's always good to practice straightening metal. Ow! Sorry, yeah, see that hole in my glove? Probably not, you can't see it there. I just felt all of the heat in me in that hole in my glove. That was not nice. I'm just going to keep that there for now. Or maybe on this side. The first thing I'm going to do is fix these tongs. Well, we'll see where the drift is at with the heating because it is a thick piece of metal as you saw and it really needs a good smack. So I've got to the point now where most of the projects I want to do I've done. So kind of it's just write something in the chat about a project I could possibly do. We'd like to see me make on screen. I'd be more than happy to do that. Still going to make that, still going to make a tanto, but I'm not going to make the traditional one because I have no idea how to do that and I'm not Japanese. But I'm going to have to go making a tanto for my mate over Perth. And yeah, there's other things as well. I've got to put down somewhere I can't remember where. Fixed them. Took me a little bit to figure it out, but that should do it. So now I'm going to heat them up and re-harden them. Make a sword. dude, I've thought about it for so long. I'm going to. I reckon that's the ultimate goal for me. Is one day I want to just make myself a nice long saw. I feel like I've got to learn a lot before I get to that stage though. But you know what we should do is when it gets to a year that I've been doing this, I'll have a go. And then in however many years' time when I think I'm up to the task, I'll have another go. Does that sound like a plan? I reckon that's a good plan. Let's do that. Remind me to do that. When I end the stream, just tell me, remember, you're going to make a sword in 1 year of blacksmithing. Just say that and I'll do it. Anyway, so that entire time that I was talking and I've been heating this up and straightening it, that piece of steel that I'm using for the drift is not even glowing yet. And it's right under the flame. Ridiculous. Woo! What was that noise? Perfect. Alright. They can sit there and chill out. Chill out. Nowhere near ready. Far out. Alright. So now we're going to straighten these. I probably do need to make another pair of tongs for smaller round stock, because at the moment my round tongs are basically just for 12mm stock. I do need to make smaller. I'm going to see if I can. Just to make my life easier, instead of trying to pull it out as a triangle, which is all fuck-eyed and trying to like fit it into the furnace. That's going to be a bit more conducive to our efforts. Now we can actually hold it. Put that in there. While that's doing that thing, yeah. Take this one out. I'm not super strong, it's just, this is mild steel, so it's pretty easy to bend. And I don't want to bend it too much, otherwise I'm going to have trouble trying to straighten it. So, that'll do. And that's our next one. So, I'll explain now what we're doing today. Aside from the drift, a hydrant spoon, so it's no secret, I've said it before, like my job is in the emergency services. And one of the things we sometimes have to do with very little time and under a lot of pressure is clean out hydrant pits to sink a standpipe so we can get water to put out a fire. Basically, a hydrant spoon is just a tool. Instead of you having to reach in there with your hand and scoop dirt and gravel and crap out, a hydrant spoon is just a piece of metal that just goes in there and scoops up the dirt. And if it's a really deep pit, you can put your arm all the way in. And also in hydrant pits in Australia, you get things like snakes and people put needles and shit in there. It's not good. So it's just to make it a little easier. And I got the idea when I was working in Toowoomba, because they have one on the truck in Toowoomba, and I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. That seems like something I can do easily, so I'm going to do that. So that's what we're doing. We're going to have a go. So the idea is you straighten it out roughly, and then you go back. So that's what it looks like now. And we're just going to straighten it more. And that drift is nearly ready to smack. And I'll tell you what though, what we'll do is I'll take that as an opportunity to anneal that. Just once more. I've already annealed it I think 3 times, but just because of the thickness of the steel and how hard the metal is, I'm going to need to anneal it more. So I'm just going to let it sit until that stops glowing in the corner. Once that stops glowing, let me know, because I'll probably forget about it. getting very good at straightening metal. Very, very good at it. Because I make mistakes all the time, and I am a huge, huge fan of recycling. So pretty much, yeah, I've started actually buying metal for the specific purpose for blacksmithing. But once upon a time, I used to just use just scrap steel. So I'm getting very good at something that's all bent, khaki, fucking wonky. I can't even think of a word. I can mostly straighten it out. It'll never be dead straight like it used to be, but it'll be pretty darn close to it. And I'm quite proud of that. That's a good skill. Anything that involves recycling and working with scrap materials, I'm normally pretty good at, or at least have a good understanding. And trust me, I'm the most humble person I know, so you can tell me the truth. Yeah, you as well, as Cox, yeah. Good man, you have a good rest of your day as well. Enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully you're a super worker like me and you don't have to work tomorrow, so you can enjoy your Monday as well. But the disadvantage of being a shift worker is that sometimes you have to work on holidays when everyone else is enjoying themselves. But it comes around that you don't have to do that sometimes, so as long as you're on some form of rotating roster, which I'm quite lucky to be on that. Yeah. Looking a lot straighter than what it was. I'm getting better at using tongs too. Took me a while, but I'm getting there. We still got a slight glow on that metal. I want to let it cool, or not to room temperature, but at least let it cool to the point that if I touched it, it wouldn't instantly burn me with 3rd-degree burns. But we'll see. Looking good, yeah. It's getting straight. Anyway, man, you have a good afternoon. Thank you for popping by. Like you hung around for. Geez, it's been 45 minutes already. Far out. Oh. Anyway. I reckon live streaming is one of the most enjoyable things you can do on YouTube. And like, I don't know why I didn't start doing this sooner. Like, this is fun. I'm just hanging out in my shed and talking to random people, of course. Not all of you random, some of you are subscribers to the channel. Some of you are just passing by, which is alright. I'm not looking to make money from this, so I'm happy to just do it. But yeah, we've talked a lot of shit this stream, and now we're up to the Smackin steel part. So, how straight does that look to you? Let's see if we'll line up the camera. It's not dead straight. There's like a little bit here, a little bit there, and in the middle. But yeah, it's easy fix. Easy fix. And that drift is just about ripped if you throw it back in. Tap, and then we can put it in our scrap stock pile that I'll probably find a use for it at some point. Well, that's where this light arse ball peen is really handy. It's when you get your straightening metal, because it doesn't leave a whole lot of marks on it. It's like gentle pressure. It's very good. Okie dokie. Now the video where they were making a big ass drift, they had a power hammer, and I kind of wish I had one of them right now because it does make your life significantly easier. But in place of a power hammer, see, that's why I got burnt. You can see my skin, because that's my skin right there. In place of a power hammer, I do have my incredible forearms that are going to get very tired after about 3 smacks. So we'll see what happens. But it's going to heat up anyway, and I'll take this time to really enjoy not having sore forearms for the last little bit of the day before they get really sore. Grip strength is underrated. Yeah, grip strength is a very underrated skill to have. It's very warm standing here, but the temperature today at work is actually quite nice. So I can't complain. I can't complain. Yeah. How's that drip going? It's fine. Not quite hot enough yet though. I want it a nice bright colour because, like Bruce said, it's hard to steal, but when it's a nice bright colour, it's kind of like, I don't really know what to liken it to, but it's almost like the steel is sort of grippy when you smack it, but it's soft grippy. It's really weird texture. I'm not talking grab it with your hands, definitely don't do that because you'll burn yourself. So when you get it with the steel in, steel gets very excited when you put another piece of steel near it when it's really hot. It's they almost want to grab onto each other. And if you get it hot enough, they will permanently grab onto one another. They'll become one. It's a lovely love story. Steel when it gets really hot. Just so excited to be included in something and just hold on forever. Ooh, something's burning. Yeah. If you're in a shop with fire and you smell something burning, look around. Okay, there's smoke out there. Not from my house, it's in the distance. It's kind of stank. Oh no! The drift is ready. Shit! Well, I'll finish straightening this and then I guess we'll start on that. Yeah. Look at all this scale. Yeah, so how was everyone's weekend? I hear about it. Take a normal live stream, folks, because it doesn't really have, like I have a slightly clear direction and I would probably benefit and get more viewers if I had a more obvious direction to where I'm going to stream, but I'm happy with what we're at now. Obviously it'd be nice to have more viewers, but I ain't too concerned. There we go. One more bit. And I'm going to take this opportunity while it's heating up to go get a drink of water. about that. It's actually going to be a lot less shitty than I thought it was. That is a very heavy piece of steel. Anyway, so basic idea with this hydrant spoon is we're just going to pinch in that end there. We're going to flatten out one end, and then we're going to draw out the other, put a little scroll in it, because who doesn't like a little bit of practice and a little bit of artistry in their lives? I mean, ISIS doesn't like artists, but fuck those guys. We don't like ISIS. They can't even get it. Into the homemade tongs, the very, very, very good ones that just will not let go of the steel. There was a window right behind me, so if they came off, that would be bad. That would be very bad. So I reckon we'll have to go one heat with this, do some more work with drift, and then another heat with this, and we're just going to alternate between drift and hydrant spoon. Oh! When you're ready, hurry up. Take it sweet time. Well, that's going to be like that. Back at it again. It's nearly an hour. No one's watching. I'll take off. Because I can try and get as much of this done as I can. I've summed up the motivation to actually do it today, so I may as well. Even out that tape a little bit more. I'm just going to finish this one and then put it on the truck and not tell anyone. That's just where it's going to end up. My forearm, I'm not going to lie, my forearm hurts very much right now. But look, this one, the one that's gripping it, which isn't a problem I've had yet, but to be fair, I'm holding on to a 2, nearly 3 kilogram piece of steel on the other end. And I'm constantly fighting to keep on because it really wants to come out of these tongs. It just really wants to jump out. And I'm having to convince it, no, not allowed. taper on that tip, and then we'll scroll it. Because why not? And then I'll probably end the stream there. I reckon. My arms are getting tired. Hitting the drift, it started to do a little bit of that. So it's yeah, it's not ideal. I don't really have any of the tongs that are going to grip it. That's why. That's ready to just have a little scroll put in it. And then hey, nice. Anyway, I'm probably going to start swearing with the amount I'm going to have to start smacking this piece of steel. So I will end the stream here. Thank you for coming by and viewing it. I will be on again in about a week. Yeah, it'll probably be Sunday again next week. Just because my day cycle, it's 4 on 4 off, so the day's going to change pretty much every time, but pretty much every time. Not next time, because it'll be Sunday. Pardon me. I'll see you then. So thank you for popping by. Have a lovely day and a lovely life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Yes, stop streaming.